Ripple launches its stablecoin. And it's not just about the crypto people tweeting about it or even Brad tweeting about it. Look at the media. They are focusing on it. They are talking through this thing. And it kind of gives you a lot of idea how the big guys would be looking at this. Now, for us, it's not just about how the big guys look at it. Rather, it's mainly about what they're doing with it. Because when you observe the volume, the price structure, which you have seen before repeating itself, the only question is, how long should you step back to understand the macro events? In front of you is a monthly chart, and that kind of conveys a lot of information. You look at the Bitcoin side of the equation on a daily, there's a lot of volatility. We talked about the volatility part of the equation in last two videos. But now watch this. If you're on Bitcoin weekly, this is what you're watching. There's a lot of long wicks to the downside here while you're still going up. Have we seen this before? And if we did, how did those times end? Now watch Ether. It's forming a pattern which may be similar for most of us, and most likely we may actually end up doing that. Now watch XRP. That's where you're watching all of these assets doing something. This is a 4-hour chart for XRP, and even if you zoom out, say a 12-hour or a daily, you kind of get to see similar trend. So what is it going to be? Right, from here, next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, how is this going to end? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While the crypto market is going up, if you're complaining, don't. Why? Let me explain. If the price is still going up and you're still complaining, you may not end up understanding what the market is doing. Whereas if you're considering this as a huge opportunity in your lifetime, then yes, you are going to be rewarded because you understand that's an opportunity. Once we identify that the pattern here on a macro trend or even a long-term trend looks like this, we know which direction we're going. And if you bought in your XRP here, or even at the bottom here, you are one of those lucky guys whose average in XRP is somewhere in between 0.4 to 0.5 or below that. Yeah, you are lucky. Right now you're 5x up. Say your average is 0.3, 0.2. Whoa. If it's 0.2 or below, now you're already 15x up, which is not a bad deal. Now, from here, what should you be watching for? That is going to be an important question to answer, especially on XRP. When the price go up like this, you need to identify one thing. Each and every time in the past, when the price was going up parabolically, we have seen a 50-60% drop. Fine. We understand that. It's not once. It happens every now and then. Yeah, and you still go up. Now, what should you be expecting in that sense? The price has dropped 33% already, but can it actually drop 60? That's a big ask. Coming back to $1, chances seem very rare. I agree. But a retest of the previous range is not a bad deal. If we can do that, it's not a bad deal. Zooming in on a 3-day chart and the volume profile, what would you say XRP is doing? Now, this is one candle, which is a hanging man here, saying sellers are in here. Sellers are in the room. Fine. Now, after that, you have 3 candles to the upside, which is struggling to break through that. If it did break that, the story changes. But right now, it's not, which means you may end up watching an ABC pattern here. Now, I would appreciate that ABC a lot. Yeah. I'm waiting for any rejection signal to say, yeah, we are coming back down. Good. But usually what happens on a 3-day when it shows you may get rejected, micro says, no, I want to give it another try. Yeah. So this is most likely event. We may give it a try, go close to 2.9 and then come back down to this point, which would at that point say, okay, that's a decent correction. You don't need to go lower. You're making a range of 35%. If XRP does this, I mean, that's going to be a magical area. But last time, we saw that XRP did push through. XRP did push through. It didn't come back down. So is it going to repeat that history? Because it has been forming a pattern, which we talked about in the group, like this. You break out like this, you break out. Now, we called it out before the breakout. Yeah. Now it's happening like a retest, which is good. Now think about this. On a monthly chart, we still have another 2 weeks to go, but on a monthly chart, this is what XRP is showing you. So if you've been holding XRP for a long time during all these choppy period, you're strong enough, guys. I mean, you're really strong. Now that the price is going up, all that you have to do, I mean, your duty is to hold on to your assets. I mean, that's simple in words, but while you do that, it's not. But that's why I say, don't think about any rolling in and out through the crypto market while you're holding your long-term bags like that. If you want to try trading, that's a different story. The long-term bags, that should be static. It shouldn't be dynamic like, I'm buying Doge now, I'm buying XRP next week. No. It doesn't work like that. If you did that, you already missed this big pump. That's why holding on to your golden bag so strong is important. Now come back to the market. Watch what Ether is doing. Watch what Bitcoin is showing you, because this kind of shakes the market. Now, when you look at it on a macro, you would ask, like, why would Bitcoin shake the market? I mean, monthly is going like nuts to the upside. It's still riding high. You have volatility for sure, but it is still trying to go further to the upside. So you look at the RSI here. It is just breaking to the upside, so you don't have a confirmation of a negative divergence. But what we should be keeping in mind is the trend line we talked about in the last video. So you drop it here and you know, okay, that's how high we may actually go. Now that's a long-term history. Now when you zoom in, on a weekly, you don't get too much identification marks. Rather, it just says like, okay, I'm slowing down and with a lot of force to the downside. But each time I'm going down, someone is buying. That's a good thing. You're attracting buyers. But the pattern and the price structure, if you observe it, it does show you like, okay, I'm slowing down a bit. We have seen similar patterns forming before and then breaking back higher without much of a correction to the downside. Yeah. But we have also seen something like this. The area has been very choppy. It didn't actually end up riding to the sky. Rather, it came back down because the negative divergence was strong. So in yesterday's video and the chart updates, I talked about this. Watch the MACD. When the MACD is crossing to the upside, price should do some correction. Why? You go back. You see this. The last MACD cross here, the price dropped. And we went through all these history for the Bitcoin cycle. And we understood, okay, at least a 5-6% drop should be anticipated in Bitcoin. But the trouble is that 5 or 6% drop right now in Bitcoin means it's about to drop to 100,000. Now, is it a bad thing? No, it's not. I mean, the price was way below the $100,000 mark. And right now, when you're above it, don't take it for granted. We came through a lot of trouble traveling this long, which means from here, a retest, it's nothing. I mean, we've gone through a lot. And that happens to be a trend line too. So if you can see another move to the upside, that's cool. Now, if you don't, what next? That's our biggest trouble and biggest question we should be answering. You have 1, you have 2, you have 3, and if that 3 ends up like this, that is going to be the choppy zone which we will be watching. You have the 1, you have the 2, you have the 3. Yeah, that's what we are expecting. So it should come back at that time towards 90,000, towards 88,000. There's a huge possibility. Why is that? We talked about the negative divergence on a 3-day chart, and that's still live. It's not getting invalidated. It's still likely to happen. Why? You have these playing out. Yeah. So a daily, so a 3-day, it's all lining up to that direction. But then you look at the total altcoin market and say, okay, monthly is showing I'm going up. Weekly is saying, yeah, I'm going to do a 30%, 34% drop. But my volume is increasing like nuts, which means it is going to go much higher. If you are in the market looking to buy more on your trading bags, you may actually get an opportunity at these resistance. Yeah, the previous resistance is going to turn into a support. And not a lot of people see the market the same way. But if you do understand this, this is the way, this is the path. The last candle which we saw is this November, and that does not look bad. Look at the RSI on a monthly for the altcoin market. I mean, that conveys a lot of story. You've been there before. You know what end up happening in that 2-3 months, and that's history. It happens every now and then. 3 years, 4 years, if you have that time, you're going to see this happening again, maybe another 4 years. But right now, when it's happening, all that you have to do is just to hold on. Don't go highly levered. The market is wild. If not, you are going to ride this. Now remember, the ABC structure has not yet completed. You're trying to see the 1, the 2. If it comes down here, great, perfect. That's where the next move should start. We're all waiting for that. So while you wait, if you are looking at different assets, specific assets, you want the charts of these, yeah, Scientific Investor Family is the place where you should be for getting all these at the right time with a ton of other assets in the market if you're interested in them. If you want to head right in, use the link in the description below, jump into the SI family. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.